This is a Sage Story.
Hi, my name is John Hammond. I live in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and I've been in this area for about 40 years. My religious journey began a long time ago in high school in rural Northwest Florida. I knew I was different, but didn't know what being different meant for many, many years. In high school, my best friend, who I found very attractive, was very active in the local Episcopal church. I went to church with him and fell in love with the liturgy and the vestments. I enjoyed the Episcopal church and served as an altar boy wearing a bright red cassock and white surplice, which was my only experience in long skirts. In college and graduate school, I occasionally attended services at the Episcopal Student Center. I did what society expected and my parents expected, and was married in the Episcopal Student Center. My wife and I finished our graduate education and moved to continue our postdoctoral education. I transferred my parish to our local Episcopal church, and my church attendance, sadly over years, declined and eventually stopped. In the fall of 1990, I went to a friend's funeral at a Catholic church and found the Mass to be very positive and uplifting. By then I had realized that I was gay, but I really did not want to be gay, being married with a child. I became a Catholic in hopes that prayers to God and all the company of heaven would remove the gay from me. I was very active in the parish, served on the pastoral council, did religious education work, took communion to the sick, and was a substantial donor to the parish and building projects. For 20 years I prayed that the gay would be removed from me, but it never happened. Like many married gay men, I threw myself into my work and later started enjoying bourbon in much excess. My wife became ill and died of complications of surgery, which was much to my surprise. I moved to a nearby town to start my life over, but attended the same Catholic church. In my new town, I was asked by a Catholic friend to give communion to the sick in a nearby retirement community. I asked the permission of the new clergy and was told that since I was out, that it would be a scandal if someone found out that a gay man had given them Holy Communion. I suspected that the priest was gay, and given all the other gay priests that I knew, I considered this a great hypocrisy. And I celebrated that Palm Sunday that year by washing, drying, and folding my clothes. When I came out of the closet, I connected with the gay community and discovered the ironies of all ironies, that the priest that received me into the Catholic Church some 20 years earlier was gay and was well known in the neighboring gay community. Sadly, he died of excessive alcohol consumption, a common problem of gay priests as well as gay married men. Later at lunch with a gay friend of mine, with wisdom beyond his years, he's only 40, he commented on my tale of praying away being gay, and said that only delays the gay. Was he so ever right? My religious journey continued. About a year later, I met with the rector of my old Episcopal church, shared my journey, and told him I was gay, which was not a problem. Later, we had lunch and we discussed some theological issues, which were important to me, believe it or not. And the next day, after my records were found from 1977, I was restored as a confirmed member in good standing, and thus returned to a welcoming community where I started 37 years earlier. After attending my old parish for a year, I became a lay Eucharistic minister again. That is one who helps distribute communion during church services and takes communion to the sick. One day I encountered my rector with another parishioner while walking through the lobby of the same retirement community that was involved in my departure from the Roman Catholic Church. He introduced me to a parishioner with him and told her that I'd recently become a lay Eucharistic minister. She immediately asked me if I could help in giving communion to Episcopal residents of the retirement community. I was more than happy to and agreed to help, but had an overwhelming and tremendous sense of deja vu. Here I am, back where I started. Now my religious life had come completely full circle. I was totally out, and thanks to much help from the LGBT community of Raleigh and Sage of Raleigh, and I have an extremely caring and loving boyfriend, and I'm actively participating in my church, and I am my true self, and I'm accepted as an ordinary member of my parish. Life is really very, very good. Now, in postscript, I want to point out that the St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church on Leesville Road in Raleigh, North Carolina, is a very exception to the rule. It is a very gay, welcoming, friendly church, and has been for 15 years. The sad part is that it's the only church that I know of in the Catholic Diocese of Raleigh that is welcoming. I hope someday they will become the norm.
Share your story at sageusa.org/SageStory.